if you put on your gloves and your dirty pants and you like dive into a construction site dumpster, one, it's fun, just rooting around in the garbage. And then two, you're pulling out these pieces of wood that's, you know, the last thing that they were was a piece of flooring or a piece of molding or something somebody touched for hundreds of years, you know. Whenever you're using a piece of reclaimed lumber, it has a story that it's not necessarily changing, but yeah, you're giving it new life. I wouldn't describe what I do as rustic, but I do like to show that the piece of wood came from a tree. I like live edge slabs, I like knot holes, I like cracks. It shows that it's actually been somewhere, came from something, and I like that. Chainsaw milling is definitely the more dangerous way, in my opinion, to mill up logs, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. It's much more personal, and the biggest payoff is that it's local. I think people really appreciate that, one, that you're taking logs out of their yard that they don't want, and two, that gives me an opportunity to give somebody a table or anything else from their town, let alone their own state. I decided that I was going to build a shop in the back room, the spare bedroom, and so I started acquiring tools. I built a workbench, and then as more tools were acquired, I had to make the workbench smaller, fit it in a corner, take out the punching bag. It's like tool Tetris. I kind of love it. And then finally it started to spill out into the dining room. I was like, I don't need a dining room anyway. So basically the shop took over the entire house, and I just felt like it was time to get a bigger shop space. So I sacrificed the heat and coziness of my home for the cold, dank, dripping shop that I have now. Whenever you're using a power tool, you're taking the piece of wood and you're feeling the machine more than you're feeling the piece of wood you're working on. And when it comes to using hand tools, it's the exact opposite. You're the one powering the tool, and instead of feeling the tool, you feel the wood. After a few shavings are taken off with a plane, I really enjoy like setting the tool down, taking the tool apart, taking that piece of metal out of there, and then just running it over a honing plane until it's like super like crisp and bright, and then just putting it back on there and then going it again, but it's a whole different piece this time because it's sharp. I mean, did you see the curls coming off that planer? And you're like, man, it's just like, and you do that directly. There's no motor there. You're just doing that and you're just like, yes. Yes. Ooh, yes. When I go to the lumber yard, usually I don't have anything in mind, which I think helps out a lot. And if you sit there with a block plane and you plane down some of the grain, the wood tends to tell you what it wants to be. And a lot of the times, it's perfectly happy with the way it is. And I have, you know, a lot of pieces that I'm very proud of because they're essentially a piece of wood that I've sanded, finished, and called a day. I guess I really try to be observant when I'm around. If I'm sitting having coffee or something like that, I'm usually staring out the window. I had this idea for a crazy brick pattern cutting board, and I got that staring at the side of Ellen's wall, you know? The Ellen's ice cream place, just out the window at Taylor's. I don't know, it's just crazy stuff. Like the lines down the road, I've gotten some pretty good ideas from that when it comes to cutting boards as well. I really like the atmosphere of Black Sheep Burrito. You know, it sounds kind of crazy, but I like the idea that you can sit there at a beautiful bar and have crafted beer and look through a big window and see Ross making the beer that you're drinking. So what I want to do is make a makerspace. Maybe a little bit of food items, but definitely a bar, serve craft beer, and have people over there sit, have a place to meet. And you can sit over there, have some beers, talk to your friends, and look through a glass window and see somebody painting, or somebody doing some woodwork, or, you know, anything. It's just, I like looking at the window and seeing somebody creating something. Hopefully other people will like that too, but that's my biggest goal. Looking at a 3-year lease is very daunting. if something catches me off guard, then I'm stuck. I have to figure out a way to make it happen. That's the biggest fear, is this doesn't work out, then I'm still responsible for it. There's been a lot of times where I was just like I thought to myself, am I just being a little kid? But no, because I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it, at least. I guess what I would say to anybody is, if you get that doubt in your mind, just keep doing it. If you just spend some time to yourself and create something, you get this swelling of joy I think it's really missing in a lot of people's lives. My theory is that if you're gonna live your life right, pick the hero of your 8-year-old self and be that guy. So if there's like a community of 8-year-old people who are living their dreams, that's gonna be a hell of a place to go.